we saw his presentation, 5%. Now we come to glance on Indian sugar scenario. Now I recall you where I said India is the epicenter of world sugar. Why I said that? Because whatever happens in India in terms of area and crop shift, area में बढ़ोतरी होती है, crop shift होता है, so और La Nina or El Nino impact, government policy interventions that sends ripples all over the sugar world. Therefore, I am referring this as epicenter, and that's India for you. Now let's look into more details of India. Broadly, Indian sugar sector is divided into two parts, tropical and subtropical. In Marathi, we call Samasitoshna. Samasitoshna is tropical, where there are 59% share is in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, and Gujarat. These are the tropical areas. And subtropical, which in Marathi we call Sitoshna, is 41% share. Which are the major states? Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and Chhattisgarh. Now these are the areas which grow. Basically, this based on tropical zone is deemed more conducive for sugarcane cultivation given its specific agroclimatic condition. The prevalent agroclimatic condition, the soil types, rainfall pattern, everything is gone into deciding which is tropical and which is subtropical. Notably, the variety CO0238, the wonder variety of Uttar Pradesh, thanks to Dr. Bakshiramji, and CO86032. Mind you, 86032 has been there for last 30 years. 30 years, friends. No breeder can vouch for any new variety cannot go more than 10 or 12 years, as we have seen in case of 238. But this particular variety, 86032, pride of Maharashtra, is there for last more than 30 years, and it is going strong. They are hailing from the subtropical and tropical regions respectively. They have played a pivotal role in boosting sugar production in the country. Now, due to varying agroclimatic conditions and crop durations, tropical states such as Tamil Nadu and Karnataka exhibit higher yield levels. Tamil Nadu, you know, per hectare yield, average is 104 tons. Nowhere, the country's average is 74. And even we boast of Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, nowhere near Tamil Nadu. That's because of the blessing of the agroclimatic conditions there. And Karnataka also, compared to the subtropical regions, a state like Uttar Pradesh. The yield disparity between these regions is significantly diminishing in recent years thanks to the adoption of improved cane varieties, enhanced agroclimatic practices, and utilization of water-efficient micro-irrigation systems. All these are now coming in place, and we will see this picture changing. What I have just now shared with you, tropical, subtropical, yield level, all these might undergo change because of these factors. All right, now we look at what's exactly on ground in India during the current year. My friends from abroad, we have different years. Calendar year, you know, January, December. We have financial year here, April, March. So we have a sugar year, which starts on 1st October and ends on 30th September. And we have another year now, ethanol supply year, which starts on 1st November and ends on 31st October. So we have four different years in operation. So I'm talking of October, September, 23-24, area under sugarcane is 59 lakh hectares. Mind you, I think the area is plateaued. We don't have much scope of increasing because this has gone up from 54 lakh hectares to now 59 lakh hectares. But take a round ball figure of 60 lakh tons, 6 million hectares, I think will be our area of sugarcane, not more than that. The cane production is also 4,340 lakh tons, that's the limit. The yield, that's something which is little worrisome, is only 74 tons per hectare average. So there is a scope to increase. The number of sugar mills are 520, almost 50%. 50% belong to my members in the cooperative sector, and 50 belongs to ISMA in the private sector. Gross sugar recovery, that's another area of concern, is only 9.80. It can improve, it has to improve. The sugar production net of ethanol diversion for this year, yes, mine figure is 305. You know, these figures are taking around different figures at different levels. But we at the National Federation, we have done lot of research study with the ground happening and with the policy makers here, and then the combined number, my number is 305. lakh tons will be the net sugar production. Domestic sugar consumption I'm taking 285. It is more or less stagnated. Though population is going up, the users of sweeteners are going down. So therefore, per capita consumption is also more or less stagnated. So I'm taking 285 lakh tons as stagnated sugar consumption. Exports, there might be some raised eyebrows. Where is this export coming when there is an export ban? I'm taking still 1 lakh tons because there are moves in the cooperative sector. One new company has been formed, National Cooperative Export Limited, and they have been given free hand to meet the neighboring countries like Bhutan, Bangladesh, Nepal, sorry, not Bangladesh, Nepal, where there is a need of sugar, and through this organization, perhaps some quantities might be exported. TRQ is there. So all put together, I'm taking a round ball figure of 1 lakh tons that might be exported during this year. Ethanol supply by the sugar mill is 157 crore liters, and ethanol blending, mind you, percentage has gone down. There was a time when we used to say 11% we have achieved. We are achieving 12%. Target is 15%. But because of this government intervention recently, we are all reeling under that. Yesterday we saw how we geared Gadkariji on the stage. As soon as he came, we put all these numbers to him, requested him, please take a note of this. And he has assured, promised, just wait till another 2.5, 3 months and he will look into this. But the fact of the matter is that average blending, ethanol blending is only 10.50, which is below the set target. Yes, swinging sugar exports. Infamous Indian swing sends tremors across the globe. Always the world is looking at India, what's happening in exports, and what's the policy and how much is going to be exported. You see the curve, and I don't have to explain much. 6 to 38 to 59 to 72, we reach 110 lakh tons, and straightway drop down to 64 lakh tons in the year 22-23, and this year perhaps dropping to the bottom, 1 lakh ton. So point to be noted here by everybody present in this hall, that India has the capability to attain robust exports in conducive circumstances. Why? A, we are logistically advantageous. B, we have the excellent quality. Our VVHP, raw sugar, is preferred over Brazilian and Thailand raw sugar. And we have experienced that. And our why our raw sugar is preferred over others? Because the cut to crush, the cane cut date and the crush date is the minimum in India. Sometimes it is less than 24 hours, depending upon the area where you are. And therefore that cut to cane being so small gap, the fresh cane comes for crushing. And the fresh cane gives you better quality of raw sugar. Free flowing, excellent Ikumsa, and VVHP. That's advantage on raw sugar. And white, of course, plantation white, there are some niche markets which are there. But before I go to the next slide, I must give a straightway signal to all of you here that we are going to be in the international market sooner or later, and with a bang, with good quality, with big quantities. Take my word. Over the past 6 years, India has exported total 349 lakh tons of sugar, with 32% of this volume being exported in the sugar season 21-22. Just now you saw. Major export destinations, we have already seen: Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Djibouti, Iraq, Somalia, and Saudi Arabia. Now, these efforts have successfully attained a market penetration and established a strong brand equity. I think, according to me, these are very important. Now, Indian sugar has created a brand equity. We have penetrated the right markets, which are near in the Asian continent. And on the strength of this raws, our Ikumsa is 600 to 1,000, and that's something which is preferred over the Brazilian and Thailand raw sugar. Now, this has resulted in earning a valuable foreign exchange for the country. How much, you know? Any idea? 21-22 alone, with that 110 lakh tons, India has earned something like $4.5 billion. In terms of Indian currency, comes to about 36,000 crore rupees, just 1 year, and one export this one. Therefore, we are very keen to be in the international market on a longer term. Timely liquidation of sugar stocks has led to the saving of interest and working capital. This has really helped to improve the cash liquidity position, and helped trimming the cane areas pan-India. Okay, Indian sugar balance sheet. This is always very curiously weighted. I have taken the figure as latest as 15 January. Uh, Now, here I'm going to spend little more time, Mr. Chairman, if you permit me. Good morning. I think that's the way. Yesterday you heard Mr. Gadkari, what he said. Annadata, we are no more Annadata, we are Urja Data now. Urja is energy. So the energy should flow from your good morning. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for that kind introduction. And my eminent fellow speakers and friends. Topic given to me assumes vital importance in light of the current market dynamics. As you have seen, since yesterday we have been talking about the dynamics changing fast, the climate, this, that. So I think this topic is going to be interesting from that point of view. And friends, as regards questions, my only request with the permission of the chair of the session, that I'll take just one or two questions after my session, and then rest questions we can do it at the end of all the speakers. Is that okay with you? Thank you. Okay. Yes. Epicenter of global sugar. Yes, sugar. The sugar world has now nicknamed India as the epicenter of global sugar. I'm going to dwell more on this when we visit India. But just keep it in your mind. When we come to India, it's going to be the epicenter. The World Sugar Balance Sheet, 23-24. If you closely look, see, all numbers are in front of you. I'm sorry, friends from overseas. I put all the numbers in lakhs because the audience here is majority of them are from India, and they are more conversant with lakhs, LAKH, and not millions. But what you can, for your convenience, do just drop the point towards left, and that becomes million. As simple as that. If you see the consumption, friends, 1802 lakh tons is the expected consumption in 23-24. It's growing in line with population, but mind you, the growth, but the per capita consumption is stagnant. This is something to be taken note of. There was a time when the per capita consumption had already gone, but now it's more or less stagnant, and therefore this consumption, don't expect it to be jumping in coming years. So far as exports are concerned, 650 lakh tons is tradable surplus, mostly comprised of VHP raws, very high polarized raws, and refined sugar, but not much of our plantation sugar. This point to be noted very carefully by the Indian friends. What we produce is plantation wide, and not much of the market is there in worldwide. That's the point I want to bring in here. Globally, cane sugar contributes 80% of the total sugar production, while beet sugar contributes 20% of the total global sugar production. Just for your knowledge, the current world average per capita sugar consumption is 22.1 kg, which is almost matching with India. India is just about 21. Now let's look. I've purposely selected only 5 global sugar players. Let's look at them. What's happening? What's their contribution on the world sugar? The largest sugar producers, friends, the sugar Dada. We call Dada is the elder brother. The Brazil has 24% of the total production, total share, followed by India, the younger brother to Brazil. European Union, comprising of 27 countries, 9%, Thailand 5%, China 5%. Look at the largest sugar consumers. India, of course, has been there at the top, 16%. Friends, we Indians are born sweet people. Sweet in talk, sweet in behavior, and sweet in look also. Agreed? Talia bajao yaar. Then followed by EU, 10%, China 9%, USA 6%, and Brazil 6%. That's the consumption part. Then let's look at the cane sugar producers. 80%, as I've already told you, is cane sugar. Brazil again is with 30%, India 22%, Thailand, China, and Pakistan. They follow in that order. The beet sugar producers, let's not forget, they have a share of 20%. Especially information for my friends in India, beet is grown only in the cold climate. We cannot grow much in India because of the climate. But you see, European Union, 27 countries contribute 40%, followed by Russian Federation, 17, US 11, Turkey 8, and Egypt 6. Then we come to who are the major exporters. in exports, we see raw sugar exports and the white sugar exports. As I've already told you, the tradable surplus at any given point of time is 650 lakh tons. That's 65 million tons. 650 lakh tons is always either imported or exported. Now, which are the exporters from raw sugar? Brazil, again, Brazil Dada, 57%. And the interesting part here to note that Brazil's consumption is just 6% of the global consumption, whereas their production, their exports are 57%. Why their exports are 57%? Because the domestic consumption is as low as 6% of the total consumption. That's the point I want to bring home. And therefore, they have been the largest exporter, and they shall be in future also. Followed by India, Thailand, Australia, and Mexico. The percentage is right in front of you. Look at the white sugar exports. Indians are topping there, but again, just barring last 3-4 years, India has not been a very serious player in the international market. But that's something which we need to, we as a policy makers, government of India, they have to think, we need to be in the international market, whatever quantity. And we have the niche markets. Thailand, Brazil, and UAE, and Guatemala, that's the share of the white sugar exports. Now, raw sugar importers, where does the raw sugar goes? The raw sugar goes majorly in Indonesia, 14%, China, 12%. These percentages of the total global importers. China is 12%, USA 6, Bangladesh 6, and Algeria 5. These are the major importers where the raw sugar goes. Whereas the white sugar, majority goes in China. Yesterday we saw China's presentation. My friend from China is here, 5.5%. Sudan 5.1%, Vietnam 4%, USA 2.8%, and Sri Lanka 2.5%. See, point to be noted here, the major importers are located in Asian continent. So whatever excess sugar is available in the global basket, it comes into the Asian continent. And this logistic advantage India has got. We saw it in 21-22. We did exports of almost record exports of 11 million tons, 110 lakh tons. Because our logistic advantage of Asian markets being nearby, the time of the freight was less, time was less, and of course the quality was excellent. So therefore, point to be noted for future that we don't have to look very far. We have the market just in our neighborhood. Now look at the ethanol players. Again, I have selected 5 top players of ethanol. The ethanol producer, obviously, USA is topping. 54% of the total world ethanol production. Basically corn. In Indian, we are not familiar with corn. It's called maize, makkah. So the corn produced, corn ethanol is USA does it, followed by Brazil. Brazil has both corn and cane, 28%. Then EU, China, India, and others. India's 5% is likely to go up, provided the government policies and industry helping increasing the production. One important thing here we must note, during the India's G20, Global Biofuel Alliance has been formed by top 2 and India. USA, Brazil, and India. They have come together and they have a mandate to spread the message of biofuel usage across the world and get as many countries to get into this route. And which in my opinion, one of the most significant outcome of the G20 that just concluded. The feedstock for a production of ethanol, grain, of course, cane and beet molasses 64%, in grain 33%, the damaged food grain, broken rice, now the maize, corn is being given a lot of prominence. For your information, NAFED is the agency, Government of India's agency, has been given a mandate and a financial incentive to supply the maize required to the distilleries who have the multi-feed arrangement, and from the Indian context point of view. And then sugar beet is just 1%, and cassava also, there is a small share in the feedstocks. Now, who are the major exporters of ethanol? The world's ethanol dada, as sugar dada is Brazil, the ethanol dada is USA, 47%, followed by Brazil 23%, Europe Union and UK 7%, and Pakistan 7%. All these figures are there for you to watch. Now let's look at the importers. The top ethanol importers, EU and UK, they are 29% of the ethanol is imported. Canada 17%, Japan 16%, USA 6%, and Philippines. We have a friend from Philippines yesterday because this is something very interesting. Let's look at 22-23 in yellow color. Opening stock was 71 lakh tons. Gross sugar production was 375. Gross availability was 446. From that, diversion to ethanol was 45. Net sugar production was 330. And domestic consumption remained at 280. Exports 64. And closing stock, estimated closing stock was 57. That's the end of 22-23. Now, and the 23-24, we started opening stock 57, produced 322, total availability 379. Diversion to ethanol, unfortunately, we are capping at 17 lakh tons because of the government intervention. And therefore, my net sugar production number 305. Consumption I'm keeping at 285. Exports I'm taking 1. And as a result, there is an estimated closing stock of 76 lakh tons. Now, this is the number which we shared yesterday with Honorable Gadkari ji. Okay, there is no reason for panicking. 23-24, you have sufficient stock. So we must look at having the second trench of ethanol supply. People are waiting for the second trench, but as he said, just wait for 2.5, 3 months. But the numbers are in our favor. That's the point which I want to bring home. Now, 24-25, very few people will agree with these numbers, but we always look at future. Lot of factors are there, and therefore this 24-25, my estimation might go corrections. But taking that risk, I would still like to flag my numbers for 24-25. Opening stock 76, gross sugar production 270, total availability 346. No diversion for ethanol. I don't see diversion. Though we are all talking about pro-biofuel, pro-ethanol, all that, but I don't see sugar availability if you totally depend only on the domestic sugar production. I'm not talking of sugar imports because it's too early for us to talk about that. But for today's presentation, I'm keeping no diversion, and net sugar production will be 270, domestic consumption 285, and the closing stock 61. Okay, the Indian epicenter world sugar. I'm just rushing through fast because I got a sheet to keep the time limit in mind. 18% of the global sugar production is in India, and we are the largest consumer. We have already said. Absence of India in international market results in significant surge in sugar prices globally. You must have seen international prices going up because of India. India being absent from the international market helped. Brazil capitalized on our absence there. We are strategically shifting focus towards diverting sugar into ethanol production rather than prioritizing exports. Till ethanol prices are more lucrative, India will be absent from the world sugar market. Now, this shift aligns with the Brazilian model, which prioritizes ethanol production over sugar exports. In the hindsight, I always have this pain. 22-23 would have been more profitable for sugar mills if the decision was made to export sugar instead of producing ethanol. I'm just leaving this thought for this food for thought. And the last slide is, I'm just going to flag it, but not going to go into the details because the presentation copy will be with you. This is just giving you the crushing progress report. How many mills, what is the crushing, I'll just run through the bottom line. 511 mills have crushed 7.4% less, have produced 7.6% less sugar. The recovery is almost same. Estimated sugar production compared to last year is about 7.6%.